Are you all tired? I think we must stretch out, right? Maybe just stand up and stretch out so that, okay? I don't think my time is on. But anyway, I will manage. Okay, sit down, please. After a very heavy diet, something light I'm going to present. This is about the distinct presence of Jesus Youth inside the church and in the world. Now, sometimes, many times, I have had occasions to face praise, objecting Jesus Youth being active in the parish or in the ministry, saying, the reason they say is, why another movement when we already have enough of Catholic associations or movements in the church? Now, Jesus Youth, being primarily a Catholic lay movement, has its roots and presence simultaneously in the church and the wider society. And in this paper, what I am trying to bring out is the reason for our being, or the distinctness. Even though there are so many other associations, other organizations, other movements, we have a clear conviction that we are called by the Lord to be there. And I don't claim that this is an exhaustive, all-inclusive paper. There can be so many other things that we can bring up, but a few points that came to my mind I will share. Now, the members of Jesus Youth interact with and involve in the various realities of daily life, both in the church and in the world. The spirituality and strength of the movement comes from the church, but the mission and active presence of its members are predominantly in the secular world. After having lived the Jesus Youth reality for the past quarter of a century, it is very pertinent that the movement reflects on its identity and distinctness in the church as well as in the world. At this first Jesus Youth International Assembly, this is what we are trying to do: an introspection at all levels. Jesus Youth is living amidst many other movements and associations, but it has a very distinct identity of its own. This presentation is a humble endeavor to look into that distinctness of Jesus Youth. And the first distinctness I see in the origin of Jesus Youth. Unlike many other movements or associations, Jesus Youth came into existence not out of human will or design, as we all know. Instead, it was the response by some young people to the new outpouring of the Holy Spirit that was experienced in the church towards the close of the 20th century through the Catholic charismatic renewal. The newfound openness and the creative attitude to the lay initiatives in the church, especially after Second Vatican Council, contributed much to the shaping of Jesus Youth. As such, the emergence of the movement was a process over a decade, clearly designed by divine providence. Just because of this, there is no one single founder for the Jesus Youth movement. So the first distinctness of Jesus Youth is that it came into being by the plan of God. God worked through human beings. The second point that I would like to discuss is the distinctness in the spirituality of Jesus Youth. Of course, there will be a detailed presentation on the spirituality of Jesus Youth, but what I want to touch upon here is just one point with regard to the distinctness of the spirituality of Jesus Youth. It is the emphasis and encouragement given to interiorize the Catholic Christian spirituality. In a world where even spiritual experience is commercialized, the movement consciously tries to build a spirit of deep interiority in its members. While the external manifestations of piety and spiritual experience are not eclipsed, importance is given to the gradual development of deep interiority and constant communion with God. Jesus Youth is distinct in being and living the joyful contradiction. The invitation of the beloved Holy Father, late Pope John Paul II of venerable memory, to the young people of the world to be a joyful contradiction is well taken by Jesus Youth in its daily life. Sometimes in the church also, this contradiction emerges as a sign of distinctness of Jesus Youth. In objecting to lavishness, luxury, and meaningless practices that might have crept into the church systems over the centuries, a Jesus Youth can become a sign of contradiction.